here shortly. I'm going to make sure that I've got to get Mel on, and I have to get yes. And then I'm going to get Sinikka on. Yes. That's the little bug I was talking about, guys. So we got that. All right. So Sinikka should be there. Awesome. Yep. Look at this. It's working like it's supposed to. We're going to go live on LinkedIn now. If you haven't already, drop your LinkedIn in the chat. LinkedIn link in the chat. I can't speak, but I'm going to get us live on LinkedIn here, and then we are going to roll. So all right. All right, everyone. Welcome once again to the Exit Your Way Roundtable. I'm happy to be here today. I'm one of your hosts, Damon Pistolka. Andrew Cross is not with us today. He is actually traveling. He is getting on a plane and coming to Seattle today. So we're pretty excited about that. I'm going to get to see him again. The COVID, it's been very infrequent. So together is fun for us. But I am so excited today because we're going to talk about how you can have a better and more productive workday. I am very excited because we've got Melissa, our guest host today, and she's brought her speaker, Sinikka, and she'll introduce Sinikka later. I'm very excited about this. I think we're going to have a lot of fun with that and learn a lot, which we want to do. So let's get started with our normal routine. I'm going to be bringing people up today. We're going to do your introductions. And today, Melissa has the question of the day, don't you, Melissa?
I do. So I've been pondering this, and I'm super happy to be the guest host. And thanks, Damon, for asking, and just full of joy that Sinikka was able to join us. So I was thinking about a fun fact, and ultimately for question of the day, what is something we don't know about you or your business that you want to share with the group? Something fun. You can pick anything that you want, and maybe some will surprise us and some will not. So what is a fun fact about you or your business?
All right, Ajay. So Ajay, first of all, tell us a little bit about yourself, and then you can answer the question that Melissa posed.
Hey, this is Ajay. I'm from India. So I'm into the staffing industry. I work as a business development manager, recruiter for the IT staffing firms. Like where I help my clients to fulfill their hiring requirements, mostly into the IT sector, like developers, admins, salesperson, QA, DevOps, and all this kind of stuff. So that's all about me.
Yeah. So Melissa, can you give him the question again so he can answer the question of the day?
Sure. Yeah. So what is a fun fact about you, or something we wouldn't know about you, or something interesting or fun about your business, what you do?
So about my business, about my work thing is most people will be trying to apply in the job portals, like it just directly click onto the job portals. That usually doesn't work out when you're just applying in the job portals, because most of the 80 to 90% would be going to the applicant tracking system, where you will be getting rejected in all this kind of stuff. So, but when you just get applying for a job, try to get the email of the recruiter and directly apply to the recruiter. So there are high chances of getting viewed by the recruiter when you're done applying in the job portals.
That's great to know. Great to know. Thanks so much, Ajay, and glad to have you here today. Awesome to see you again. All right. So, Andrew, how are you today?
I'm well. How are you?
Good. So tell us a little bit about your business, Andrew. How you're helping people.
We're a strategy first marketing and sales consultancy that works here in the US and with affiliations in about 120 countries to help you grow your business here or abroad. And we help our clients convert every touch into voracious advocates for their brand.
Nice. And yeah. I just can't say enough about how you're helping people, man. It's so cool. So Melissa, let's give him the question of the day so we can have him answered. It's gonna be good.
All right, Andrew. Fun fact, something we don't know about you. We've seen all your characters that you bring up on that fangled tech. So I'm very curious what this fun fact is going to be.
Fun fact, I forget to mute my phone before I go into a meeting. I think what most people don't know about me is the what I do when I'm not working. So as a woodworker and glass artist and many other creative pursuits. So I knit my own sweaters and scarves and build my own furniture and cabinetry, and all of the glass fixtures in my house I made myself.
Yeah,
That's amazing.
it's so cool, man. So cool. Because I know about Andrew's hobbies and he's talented in many different ways when it comes to these kind of things. So that's awesome, man. Thanks for being here today.
Thank you.
All right. Grant, how are you today?
I am well, thank you.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, tell us a little bit about yourself and how you're helping people, what you're doing.
Well, I feel a bit like a broken record because I repeat myself each week, but what concerns us, my wife and I, with this startup is the contaminants that go into people's bodies. Some of them we can help, and that's the daily skincare. I've learned that men have skin too, so it should apply there. And my personal mission is to try to make it easier for men to kind of digest that classically feminine pursuit of taking care of themselves, at least where other people can see where they're taking care of themselves. And then we're working on better plastics, better packaging, so that we're not clogging the landfills and Pacific garbage patch.
Yeah. Yeah. And I really like your focus, Grant, on your products. First of all, you're developing clean skincare products that are not full of chemicals. And then combining that with the plastics that break down normally in the landfills rather than stay there for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years is really cool, man.
Thank you.
That's really cool. All right, Grant, thanks so much for being here. Glad to see you. Jacob Worren, my friend, how are you today?
Hey, Damon.
Oh, we've got, sorry. Oh, no. I did it again. I get so excited talking to people. I just lose it. Sorry, Jacob. Grant, sorry about that, man. I didn't give you time to answer the question, Grant. Sorry.
I was kind of hoping you hadn't. I would say that the fun fact about me is adaptability. I feel like this COVID thing has helped. I mean, it's challenging, but it's helped sharpen a lot of my focus and limit and constrain where I need things to be.
Yeah. That's cool. That's cool because it has, and it's and opened other opportunities too. I know for a lot of people. So awesome. Sorry about that, but love to have you. All right, Jacob Worren, the man with the beard. How are you today, my friend?
I am great.
All right.
You're not frozen.
Dang it.
It's pretty good, but that was close. But not all the way there, man. All right.
Yeah, I'm in one of those type of moods today. It's everybody watch out today.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Awesome.
No,
Yeah,
doing
good
great.
stuff, man.
Doing great.
All right. So tell us how you're helping people, man.
I help people, if I can actually pronounce something correctly right now.
There you
Obviously, I haven't had enough coffee, but I help people with technology. Simply put, I help your business be more effective with it, utilizing technology to achieve your goals. And so whether that's cloud, whether that's existing stuff that you're working with, whatever, I help you make it a bit more secure and a bit more effective for your business.
Awesome, man. Awesome. Good stuff. So now you're up for the question of the day.
Yeah. So how do we want to approach this? So something interesting, or like, is it like something that might not that people may not know about me is that I have this secret aspiration, and watch out. No, it is actually, believe it or not, I've always had a secret desire that I would like to be a actor of some sort. A lot of people don't know that about me, but I've always had a fascination. I mean, it's something that whether it's just a local film, whatever, I think it would be fun to be an actor because if you can't tell, there's times I can get really animated and I enjoy it. And shh, don't tell anybody.
Well, you know what's funny about this is I've known Jacob for well over a decade, almost going on, into the second one a long ways, and I didn't know this, so that's cool. Yeah, I was when it was dark hair and no gray.
Yeah. When the gray started coming out, it's like, okay, if you knew that developing on me, then that's a secret aspiration that I've only told about 4 people. So the fact that I'm telling you guys is it truly is something that not very many people know about me.
Yeah, it's awesome, dude. Thanks so much.
Great. We're on LinkedIn Live, so you've told a lot more people today.
Oh crap. Well,
Yeah.
hey, what is it? Paramount Pictures.
Yeah.
I'm available for scheduling. I don't even have an agent, so we're good. We're good.
You go straight to the source, right? Yeah. Awesome, man. Glad to see you.
And Jacob, look in the chats. Grant just put some feelers out there for you if it really is a strong desire.
Hey, let's do it. I'm ready.
You never know. Have a great day. Have a great day.
Thank you.
All right, Jill. How are you today?
Yeah, I'm so good. It's a beautiful day here in the Pacific Northwest. So sunny day is always a good day.
Yes. So tell us how you're helping people, and then you can answer the question of the day.
Yeah, thank you. I support small business service providers. I support them in feeling certain about the future so that 6 months from now, there's going to be improved staff performance. There's going to be increased focus on business growth solutions. I'm going to be focusing on getting the people right in the organization so that the owner and the business leader has time to focus on growing their business.
Great. That's awesome. And in those kind of businesses, it is the people.
Yeah.
In all businesses, really, but good stuff. So the question of the day.
Fun fact about me. A lot of people don't know that they know that I came from a background of being a full-time pastor, but I actually am still an ordained minister. And even though I'm on a volunteer basis, I'm still an active minister.
Awesome.
That is awesome.
Yep. Yeah. That's good. Good. And I feel glad because that's something I actually knew already. But I mean, I like to know people. I like to know facts about them. I always do. It's been something that fits it. My head does it, and I love that. If there's one thing I love, that I can remember facts about people. So awesome stuff.
Damon, I was going through and I actually started purging my connection list on LinkedIn because I want to be intentional about my connections. I'm not one of those ones that wants to have 30,000 followers. And so you and I have been connected for over a year.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah,
awesome.
You were one of my first intentional connections when I really started building my audience and building LinkedIn.
Wow. Thanks. Thank you so much. That's cool. That's cool. It's been wonderful getting to know you. Yeah. Great. Yep. Well, thanks for being here today, Jill. Love it.
Yep.
Love seeing you. Have an awesome rest of your day. So we're going to move on to Michael. Michael, how are you today?
Man, I'm fantastic. Every day above ground is a good day for me. I am grateful to be alive and rocking and rolling here.
There's something about that, though. I told someone that, and I tell people that a lot, is when I wake up, the very first thing I tell myself is, thank you for I'm here today. I got something I can do today. I can do something with this day. I have this opportunity. And that changes your whole day when you do that. And I love to hear you say it. So
absolutely. Yeah, you bet.
Michael, tell us how you're helping people, man.
So I help people by helping them grow their people and develop their people so they can grow their company. and typically work with business owners who are frustrated from moving from the doer, the make it happen guy, into growing and developing his leadership team. So we do that with all kinds of leadership programs, management programs, assessments, strategy, the whole enchilada for a small business owner to grow and get to that place he wants to be.
Awesome. Yeah, and some of the stuff that you and I have talked about, some of your results-based stuff, and getting the right people in the right seat in the bus, and getting the right people on the bus, man, just so good. And thanks so much. You presented a while ago about time management for entrepreneurs. Great stuff. We were looking at that again. I was anyway last week, just to make sure I'm going through the things the right way. So awesome.
Cool. Yeah.
So the question of the day, what's this fun fact? Melissa gave us a great question.
She did. Thank you, Melissa. That was a good one. I'm like, fun fact. I don't know. Oh, I got it. I am terrified of heights. That set things in perspective here. And what is a fun fact? I love to ride roller coasters with my grandchildren. We get to the park as early as they open. We go right to the roller coasters, and we ride them over and over and over again until we can't walk.
Yes.
And then we go. That's it. We go to Disney World, wherever, Kingston. We just ride roller coasters until we cannot walk anymore, and it is a rush. It is so cool, and the kids, they're all little. They're like 5, 7, 8, 10, 12, and they love it. Like, we'll start out just going in line, right, and getting wherever the line takes us. And then after 1 or 2 rides, one of the grandkids will say, can we ride in the first car? And I'm like, yeah, we can.
Yeah.
I just love it. I love it. That's
so
the fun
good.
fact about me.
That's so good, because you get to spend the time with them, but also you all experience the rush of the roller coasters together. So
Right.
Well,
really
and Michael, you can hear the joy. Like when you told us that fun fact, like the joy that is being emitted from your human is amazing. Like I can picture you on these roller coasters with your grandkids just having one heck of a time.
Also, we leave the park probably by noon because I can't talk anymore. I have no voice left. and the grandkids, they just get it. Everybody it's just a constant rush. Yeah, it's awesome. Yep.
That is awesome.
That is so great, Michael. So great. Well, glad to see you. Thanks so much.
Glad to be here.
Professor Pete, how are you today, my friend?
Damon, I am excited to be here, and it's very tough to follow Michael there, I'll tell you.
No doubt.
I have to mention what you guys talked about right at the beginning was awesome about the waking up in the morning. I always call that remember the lottery. It's one of my favorite stress relief tools because we should be grateful that we're alive. So
Yes.
Yes.
What is that fun fact of how many people are actually in the?
Yeah, so it's basically in the entire history of the world, there's been roughly 116 billion people to have lived. And today we have roughly 7.5 billion. So the reality is that 14 out of 15 people who have ever lived on Earth are dead. And so the fact that we're all here together means that we should be realizing that we won the lottery today.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
good. So good, man.
I'll put the link to the post there in the chat for anybody who's more interested in the information. And there's actually a book about that. So yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So it's pretty cool.
So tell us how you're helping people, Pete.
Well, in addition to being the host of the popular Winning at Business and Life podcast, I am the president of Office Plants by Everything Grows, which I was trying to put the background that works on Zoom, but does not want to work here on the Remo. And with Everything Grows, we help companies reduce stress, improve productivity, and receive outstanding ROI through the methodical design and placement of lush living plants in work environments.
Mm.
How's
Nice.
that for sexy?
Beautifully said.
Well,
Yeah.
live plants are really, they really put in the right places really make a difference.
It does, but from us, it's lush living plants.
Yeah. Well, and you keep them that way. That's the important thing, because in my
That's
realm,
exactly
if
it.
it was up to me, they are dead plants.
That is exactly it. That is exactly it. Yeah, that's why they hire us. So,
Yeah.
So, fun fact, I love this one, Mel. I actually had one other one, and then with the conversation from Jacob, he inspired me just to mention this, because almost everybody doesn't know this. But the reason I have so much fun hosting my podcast is because when I first went to college back in the Stone Age, I wanted to be in broadcasting. And after a couple of years, I burned out on it, not because of the actual work. It was the fact that you have to move, back then, trying to get into a bigger and bigger market, whether you want to be in radio or TV, you had to move every 3 to 6 months. And I did tons of moving as a kid, so I didn't want to do that. So, fast forward 35, I'm getting closer to 40 years. I now get to tap into my inner child and get to do that broadcasting again. So that's what's really fun about doing the podcast, and that's why, shoot, I'm in the 260s. I've published over 250, and I've got almost 270 in the can.
Yeah, I was going to say something about that, because you just did like 252 or 253 this week that I've seen so far. So
yeah.
Awesome.
Amazing.
Awesome.
Yeah, and Damon was one of the one of my guests before I hit 10.
Wow. Wow.
So that's how I Jill was mentioning how long we've been connected, and that was a year and a half ago or so, and I remember that's how we were able to first connect and talk.
Yeah, and then Pete lives like 30 miles from me if I just point this way.
Yeah,
or 40 miles.
A ferry ride away.
Yeah, ferry ride away. So we're gonna get together this summer when the weather gets a little nicer, and have a drink or something.
Absolutely.
And Damon, before you drop Professor Pete off of the stage, I just want to give a shout out to Pete. So I was working with a client and wanted some stress tips. So I asked Pete if he'd be open to come in and do 3 different sessions with her, and he did. And after the first session, she literally said, wow, that was so impactful. I really needed those. That's not my area of expertise, right? And so that collaboration. And so I just, Pete, appreciate your professionalism and the tools and techniques that you helped bring to her personal and professional, dealing with those stressor situations. So it was great.
Awesome. Mel, thank you so much for those kind words. I greatly appreciate you.
Yeah.
Awesome, Pete. So glad to have you here today, my friend.
Awesome. Looking forward to this.
All right. See you in a bit. Stu, great having you here today.
Thanks for having me, Damon. It's an absolute pleasure to be with you.
Yeah. So tell us how you're helping people today, Stu.
Well, normally I would tell you about my consulting business, but today I actually want to tell you about woodworking. I take great pieces of wood and I make them better. And what I love to do is put a smile on people's face. And when I get the opportunity to work with wood, it puts a smile on my own face to start with. And the more time I spend with it, the more it grounds me. The more it grounds me, the better person I become. And the better person I become, the better the product is. And by doing that, I actually have a lot of fun.
That's awesome, Stu, because I was just looking at your dog kennel, and I'm not saying it right, furniture piece that you posted about today. It's incredible, dude. Because and then your couch side tables that are folding and some other things that you've produced, man. You do such great work. And I was looking at that dog kennel today, because we are going to be getting a dog. I think my wife announced to me that we are getting a dog probably later this year. So I was looking at it. I'm like, wow, I could really use that because, you know, if you have dogs, everybody has the plastic, big air travel kind of kennel thing in the house.
Yeah.
And yours is actually a piece of furniture that you can have in your house that actually looks decent, not just an ugly piece of plastic sitting in your room. So awesome stuff, man.
Yeah.
I have a lot of fun. I really do. And I mean, I mentioned the grounding, but I don't think we realize in life how important it is to be grounded, because when we're grounded, it changes who we become as a human and how much we're actually able to help ourselves first, and then how much we can help others.
Yeah. No doubt. No doubt. Well, Stu, you get to answer the fun fact of the day now.
So the fun fact of the day for me, which probably I don't think anyone here knows, is I'm actually an adopted kid. So I come through the foster system and got the special ability of getting kicked out twice, but that's okay. And I was a bitter guy for a number of years, and that's a side a lot of people probably don't know about me. But I had to figure out how to take that bitterness and make myself better. And ironically, life has a way of flipping you on your head. And my sister-in-law passed this past year, leaving behind an orphan niece, and who also came through the system. And now I get the opportunity to give back. And so now I'm getting an opportunity to help my teenage niece go through those same years that I went through, and helping her on her path. And you know what? That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
That's
No
beautiful,
doubt, man.
Stu.
No
Beautiful.
doubt. Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Whew. How do you top that?
I know, right? Wow. That's amazing.
Stu, so glad to have you here. Thanks so much.
Thanks again for having me. It's been awesome.
You bet. You bet. Well, Allison, Wonder Woman of manufacturing marketing, how are you today?
I'm amazing.
Yeah. Awesome.
And I don't know how to follow Steve. So like, wow.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a tough one, but it's good, you know, to see he said bitterness, take the bitterness and make yourself better. I wrote that down. It's so powerful. So Allison, how are you helping people? Tell us how that works.
Well, people are probably tired of hearing me say this, but most manufacturers waste time and money on marketing that doesn't grow sales. And I got tired of seeing that and seeing them get taken advantage of. And so Felt Marketing helps retrofit their marketing system so that they can actually make sales easier and more profitable. So now they're not just seen and heard, they're felt. They're making that emotional connection with customers and meeting them where they are. And so that is how I give back every day, is by serving first and selling second. And then I am the overly caffeinated co-host of the manufacturing podcast, MFG Out Loud. Woo! Woo, woo. And have a couple other irons in the fire to start educating manufacturers, which I'm really excited about. So that will be announced in the next couple of months on 2 different platforms. So
yeah.
And I'm just grateful to be here. I already get this great energy from the 2 ladies in front of me and always from you, Damon. So I just feel grateful to be able to be invited and learn from everyone else, really.
Awesome. Awesome, Allison. So what is your fun fact about you or your business?
I have 4 tattoos. And I'm definitely going to get more. And it was one of the most freeing things I ever did.
Did you say freeing?
Yep.
Okay. Love it. Love it. Love it.
Yeah, because I was always the conservative, oldest child, you know, pretty pretty straight laced and, didn't like to get in trouble or just always kind of colored inside the lines. And the older I get, the more I color outside the lines on purpose and do shit that scares me. And so, yeah, I got my first tattoo and I think the guy thought, well, this is a tramp stamp. And I turned right around and looked at him. I was in Hawaii and I said, this is not a tramp stamp. I have thought long and hard about this. And of course it says imagine, which will not surprise people. And then ended up getting some more on my calf and they were way bigger than I thought. And I was like, oh, I'm going to have that forever. And then afterward I thought, hell yeah. It was just this, it was me stepping out of my comfort zone. So
I love it. And Allison, when I heard you say that you stopped coloring inside the lines, I would say maybe you just created a new picture that you're coloring in.
You know what, girl? I think you're right. I like that better.
That is awesome.
I like Melissa.
Oh yeah.
I like me too.
You got great energy, man. Great energy. Thanks so much, Allison, for being here. Awesome to see you again.
Yes.
All right. I think that's everyone other than the three of us on the stage. I asked Gail to come up, but I think Gail was actually hosting whatever it was, Twitter Spaces too. So she was trying to come in between that. But yeah, another audio only platform that we all get to do. But so I'm very excited here, Melissa. So first of all, I have to have you explain how you're helping people. And then you get to answer your own question. Okay. And then I will do it. And then you will take over as the guest host, introduce Sinikka, and you guys will take it from there.
Sounds great. Thanks, Damon. Happy to be here. I would say a fun fact for me is not about my energy level because it's usually at level 11, right? Which either people love or frankly probably find me a bit annoying, but it is what it is. So it is what it is. So for me, what I do to help people every day is really working with leaders, helping elevate leaders to recognize, overcome, navigate new challenges or obstacles on how they can be their best self as they're working within their organizations. And I think with leaders, we all showed leadership, right? Whether you manage people or you don't manage people, we have abilities to be leaders, show leadership. And so working with my clients, I just have a blast seeing them making progress and working towards the goals that they have. And it's fun, right? It's amazing. And it's one of the reasons how I met Sinikka. And love working with her. So my fun fact, it's kind of fun. So I've lived in 7 states and 3 of them twice. So I moved a ton throughout my career when I was in corporate before I started my business and building my coaching practice. And now I'm forever probably in Iowa until I retire and we get a someplace that's a bit warmer for the winter. But Iowa's an amazing place, but I never in my wildest dreams would have thought Iowa was where I landed. I grew up in Minnesota, and as Minnesotans, we used to say Iowa stood for I oughta win around, and now I live there and I love it. So I am an Iowan, and I will be here a long time. And so happy to be here, and that's me for today.
Awesome. Well, I'll go real quick before Sinikka. Damon Pistolka, Exit Your Way. What we do is we help business owners realize their dreams and goals with their business, getting it running right today, increasing it to the value they want it to. And if they're ready to sell, when they're ready to sell, we help them do that. So we have a lot of fun with it. We love what we do. We love making a difference in the lives of people and seeing them achieve their goals. I mean, there is literally nothing that I enjoy more than if I see a business owner starting to go, wow, I love this business because now I understand that I'm making money and I'm not always worried, first of all, and you see that transition. And then you see the second transition go and it's worth enough money and I will be able to sell it for the money I want to do whatever else after this. Those 2 points in a business owner's life are significant for them, and I love helping them get there. So that's what we do. We love it. We get to do it every day. I wake up doing it. It wakes me up very, very early, and I just love it. So thanks so much for that. My fun fact is I got a couple, but I don't know what really makes a difference. I used to wakeboard competitively. I did it from the time I was about 29 until I was about 37. And an unfortunate back injury stopped me, but yeah, I could do the flips and I can do I could no more. But that's what I used to do. I did it all across the country, and I would actually travel and do it in the summertime. It was a lot of fun.
Oh, that's amazing. So Jill said pictures. I'd love to see some video of you doing some
what?
tricks.
The thing is that's, you think about how long ago that was in my life. And I was the one at the end of the rope and nobody took pictures. I got like one picture and it was before phone video. So I'm like, I'm lucky enough that my kids, when they were around, I was just young enough yet that they could still see me do some flips and stuff and watch me in a couple tournaments before I had to quit. But yeah, that was really a fun time. Because it was, I don't know, for the Star Wars fans, I always thought of myself as like Yoda. There's the one movie where Yoda walks in on the cane and then he gets in the fight with the guy and just beats the heck out of him. That's how I always used to feel like, because I was in my early 30s, mid 30s, even as I got older. And I was like the old dude in the boat with the gray hair, and everybody would freak out when I'd get behind and start doing that stuff. They're like that. So it was always fun. Always fun.
That's a great fun fact.
Good stuff there. So Melissa, take over as our guest host. Let's talk about how we're going to have better and more productive work days.
Yes, no, I am thrilled to have Sinikka Waugh join us today. And Sinikka, I have I have it printed in front of me, so I didn't fumble this up. I work with Sinikka and have the pleasure of knowing her personally and love that. But I'm going to read her bio, and I highlighted the parts that were, for me, resonated the most. So Sinikka is the president and founder of Your Clear Next Step. She spends her days helping people have better work days, which is at the least thing it's the most important thing, but it's just who she is. She's known for consistently helping people improve their emotional intelligence and find innovative ways to solve problems and get things done. As her relentless passion for helping others achieve even better, right? Whatever that looks like for them, even better. She has her BA from Central College and an MA from the University of Iowa. She's a certified project management professional through PMI. She's married to her husband, Spencer, and they have two amazing teenage daughters. And Sinikka was telling us in advance her one daughter is about 2.5 weeks from graduating high school. So lots going on in Sinikka's household. And I don't want to take up any more of Sinikka's time. As we jump over to Sinikka, a few things for us to think about is, Sinikka, who are you, right? How did your business get started? Where did that idea come from? Throwing in your fun facts somewhere along the way of things to know about you. And then I think you wanted to talk about 3 things today. So I'm going to hand it over to you, and can't wait to hear what you've got to tell us today.
Well, thank you, Mel. I appreciate that. And thank you for the introduction, and thank you for the opportunity to be here at Mel. As Mel was describing this group, and she said, "Oh, you're going to love it." And she wasn't kidding about the passion and the energy and the genuine authenticity of this group. Thank you so much for letting me be a part of that, and to hear your fun facts today, and to visit for a few minutes. Some of you have some similar stories to some things that I might share. I moved around a lot as a kid. My dad was in the Navy. So by the time I was 12, I'd been in 12 different, or by the time I graduated high school, I'd been in 12 different schools. My sister had been in 16. It hit her a little harder. We moved every 9 to 18 months. But then after having lived literally all over the world, I've lived in Paris, I've lived in Okinawa, Japan. I've spent extended time in Finland and in Germany. I've lived in Bermuda. I've lived all across the US, California, Florida, Texas, Massachusetts, Virginia, Colorado. I mean, all of them. And after all of that, I picked Iowa. I chose Iowa to live, and we were joking about this before, not for the weather. I did not pick it for the climate. So if you've heard anything about Iowa climate, it's all true. It's hot here in the summer. It's cold in the winter. Spring and fall are short. But for the people, and for the work ethic, and for the ability to build relationships and get work done here. So it was a great place to live and to raise my daughters and to start a business. We've been in business for 14 years this summer. Your Clear Next Step. The name itself tells you a little bit about what we do and why we do it. So the first it's about you and your next step. It's not mine. I'm just here to serve. Clear, we believe in clarity before action. Next, it's about helping someone take the very next step, not necessarily, the lofty, what's 25 years from now, or, if you have a 5-year your strategy, that's great. But what's the very next thing you need to do to get there? And then that step really reminds us that it's action oriented. Planning is great, but if you don't do anything about it, you're not going to get anywhere. And so I started Your Clear Next Step years ago with a passion for training, a passion for coaching. I thought I was going to be a college professor. I have the very useful master's degree in 19th and 20th century French and British poetry. If you have a desire to talk poetry, we can talk Baudelaire if you like. But mostly, I thought I was going to teach, and I knew that that's what I had been designed to do. I am created to be a teacher, and as I moved through my professional career, that ability to move and to start new things that I honed as a child, that became really valuable as a professional consultant. So as a project manager and a business analyst. And in that life experience, what happened was I would find myself at new client sites, and they would say, oh, thank you for solving that problem, or thank you for, tackling that project for us or getting it done. Can you teach me how to do that better? Can you help us get better at that? Can you help our team get better at that? And it became this really wonderful realization that I could do what I was designed to do and really put together project management, business analysis, leadership, emotional intelligence, the soft skills related to those technical skills, put those together with my love of teaching and helping people get even better. And so that's what we've been doing. We've had as many as when we were really focused on project management, we had as many as 28 consultant project managers working with us. We closed off that line of business and really focused on leadership and have been growing that over the years. And so now we've got about probably 18 to 20 various coaches and trainers working with us with different specializations. And we've got this end-to-end specialization where we can help you if you're looking for a job. We've got coaches who help with the interview preparation, and we've got coaches who will help you with your first 100 days on the job. And we've got training and coaching in business analysis and project management and being an individual contributor and some of those business skills. How to set yourself up for leadership. We've got leadership training at 3 different levels, frontline leaders and mid-level leaders and executive leaders, training and coaching and group training, private training and coaching available in all of those different forums, which is a neat to be able to be a one-stop shop for someone through their career development. And we don't necessarily we don't need to be a life partner with you. We want to help you grow. And what we want to do is we want to help you get to the next thing. And then if you ever need us again, just call us back and we'll help you as you get to whatever that next step is. And that has been a joy and an absolute delight for these last 14 years.
Awesome.
So that tells you a little bit about us. I think I wove my fun fact in there. Melissa, aside for the 3 things that we were going to talk about today, did I hit on the kind of the story that you wanted to share of the history of Your Clear Next Step?
Yeah. Will you talk a bit about your, like, one of the things that was so impactful for me when I met you is you're like, Mel, I want to help people have better work days, so that how that affects their whole being, right? So if you want to touch a little bit on that, I think it's very powerful.
Thank you. And we do, our mission as an organization is to help people have better work days so that, right? Why? What's your why? This why gets me out of bed every single morning, so that they can help co-create better communities. You think about the people that you've encountered in your work life and the ones who've had crappy work days. A work day that where the customers were grouchy, or their colleagues didn't do what they said they would do, or communication didn't flow through effectively, or the project just fell further and further behind. And what happens, right? Your facials dragged, despite the fact that you're all so peppy and wonderful here in the morning. By the end of the day, if you've had a crappy day, right, your facials drop, your enthusiasm drops, your shoulders drop. You carry that baggage, and pre-COVID, when we went places, you would drive home with that, right? You would bring that home in your commute, and maybe as you're driving, you're not driving particularly safely because you're driving defensively. And when you arrive at home, that baggage, for so many of those people, that baggage comes with them, and then that gets taken out on the people that are closest to them, the people that they love the most, household members, spouses, kids, parents, if your aging parents are living with you. And that baggage comes out on the ones who are closest. And then what do we do over the weekend, right? We hole up and we dread Monday. And it just becomes an unpleasant experience, and we don't do anything to give back or to contribute. Whereas on the flip side, if we have a better workday, we have the opportunity to give back, right? To drive a little safer, and to tip the pizza guy a little more generously, and to give back, to volunteer on a kids softball team over the weekends, and then go back Monday refreshed and ready to do it again.
Yeah,
I love that. Yeah,
that's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do a little disclaimer right here. If you notice that I'm in a vehicle, we had a change of plans. I live a busy life. There's just no other way around that. I run a business, and I have 2 teenage daughters, as Mel said. And one of the things that happened today is I had a daughter who had an appointment, and so I'm in a parking lot while she is at that appointment. She has just come out of that appointment. She's going to knock on my window here in about 10 seconds, and I have to give her a credit card to go make the payment.
All right.
For the appointment. So Mel, say something insightful while I dig out a credit card.
Well,
one thing I would say, go ahead, Damon.
Well, I think what you're saying, Sinikka, what you talked about is having a better day and how that drags on. I think of some of the situations that I was in running companies, and how when, if that doesn't, how that happens, and how you really have to make sure to turn that off or understand your new situation when you get out of that car at home. And if you could make that day better to there, it would be so much easier, because you don't have to try to just, and I'm going to use the worst terms you can, stuff it down inside and not let anyone else know what's going on, because that's what you do. I mean, that's what you have to do. And because you're not going to bring that home, because you bring it home, boom, you know what's going to happen there. Nothing's going to go well for anyone. They're not going to want to be around you. And if that continues, it doesn't work. So awesome.
Yeah. It's true.
Sorry, Mel. Hey, go ahead.
No, and Sinikka, back to you. I think one thing to make sure you call out or mention out today too is your podcast. So Sinikka does an amazing podcast, has different guests, and to Sinikka's point today, talking about 3 things, she really does keep us focused when we're on her podcast around let's talk about 5 things or 4 things, like have a specific that she resonates back to. So make sure you call that out too, and I'll flip it back to you.
Thank you. And thanks for your patience. And wow, that was wildly unusual for me. But anyway, so from our podcast, we are not, Professor Pete, we're nowhere at your level yet. I've been podcasting for about almost a year and a half, maybe closer to 2 years. We've got 28. I think the 29th episode is on its way out right now. So we release about every 3 weeks. It's called The Even Better Podcast. And they're tips from our guests who have 4 things that they've learned or 5 things that they can share that might help someone else's workday go even better. So to that point, I see we've got about 10 minutes or so. And so let me just offer 3 tips. To Mel's point, I am super linear. That is the way I live my life. I organize things into linear approaches. And so that's the way the podcast comes out. But there's so much, if you simplify it. If you simplify it by following a process or by following a structure, which is why I like project management, you have the ability to focus on things and really just get things done without extra noise. So when we talk about 3 things, here are the 3 tips that I want to offer you to help make workdays better. So the first tip is the humility alongside confidence. So when we think about what makes a better workday, communication flows freely, processes and projects run smoothly, collaboration and interaction happen naturally, and everyone is working in alignment with what's best for the organization. That's what makes a good workday, right? Those are the best workdays. When communication is flowing, processes are running smoothly, collaboration and influence are happening naturally, and everyone's working in alignment. That's what describes a good workday. So how do you get that? I'm gonna argue that there are 3 things, regardless of what role you're playing in your business, and regardless of what else is going on, whether you are the business owner or whether you're trying to coach an employee, or whether you're a person sitting in a corporate office. These 3 things really, really matter. The first one is humility alongside confidence. And so this piece, this shows up for us in an organization. This shows up in our core values. So the idea of humility alongside confidence is very, very simple. It is the confidence to try it, the confidence to say, yes, I know, and I'm willing to try this new thing, and I'm willing to go out there and to take a risk, and I can get help. But the humility to realize that what got me here is not going to get me to the next step, right? It's the humility to realize I don't have all the answers. I don't have it all. So as we think about that humility alongside confidence, whatever role you're in, how many of us in our confidence and in our haste, we go barreling through, right? We just go barreling into that moment like, I'm confident, I can do this, I got this. But then we step on others, or we bluster through it, or we drill twice instead of measuring twice and only drilling once, right? In that confident enthusiasm, we make our days longer, and we step on people, which causes cleanup that we have to do. And on the flip side, how many others don't speak up? They don't take that risk. They don't try new things, and they miss out on those opportunities or those chances to shine. So I believe that one of the things you're trying to balance, and it's super easy to talk about with others, is that humility alongside confidence. Balance them out. Have the confidence. You were hired for a reason, right? To an employee, so something got you here. So tap into that confidence, but have the humility to be willing to grow and to learn and to do new things. So that's the first one. The second one that I'll offer is to listen. And I'm just going to shush for a second, because that's what we need to do. God gave us 2 ears and just one mouth. That is the ratio that we need to use them. We need to listen. That is at your clear next step, that shows up as the first step in our proven process as an organization. We listen to our customers. But when I think about listening, it's something that I honed as a business analyst, as a project leader, as a coach, and now a business owner. If I'm not listening to my customers, I'm not going to make it. If I'm not listening to my employees or my family, I can't succeed. I can't strike that balance. If I'm not listening to my own self, my heart, my drive, my gut, my physical wellness, if I'm not listening, I'm not going to make it, right? I need all of those. My workday will go down the drain as soon as I stop listening. So how does this help days be better or more productive? Well, you listen. If you listen in a meeting, it makes the meetings go faster. If all of us would just show up at our meetings and listen instead of trying to multitask, which is a myth, as we know, but if we just listened, we wouldn't have to have these, oh, wait, I wasn't paying attention. What did you say? Right? If we just listen in interactions, when you're listening to the other person, it allows them, when they feel listened, they're going to open up more, and you're going to get more genuine relationship. You're going to get depth there. You're going to get an ability to appreciate and build that appreciation more. We know that listening is an art, right? Listening is an art, which means that the beauty is in the eye of the beholder. If you don't think I'm a good listener, I'm not. And if the person that I'm talking to doesn't think I'm a good listener, then I'm not. Listening is like any other form of communication, and it is an art form, which means it's not just a send, it is a send and hope that the other person sees it, and make sure that they see it, make sure that they hear it, and make sure that they connect with it, and that we're doing it in a way that is beautiful or attractive to them. So you need, for listening, you've got to have mindfulness. Just yesterday, I was teaching a class on mindfulness and how that ties to employee engagement. And one of the things we talked about was listening in that moment, right? Listening for what's going on in the noise of the environment, what's going on in my own head, like what noise, what stories, what baggage am I bringing to this conversation? Listening to that. Am I hangry? Good heavens, if I'm hangry, I need to solve that before I try and interact with another human, right? So listening to myself and listening to others. If we don't take the time to listen, we're just going to step all over people, and then we're going to have to waste the time and the productivity cleaning up messes or missing out on things that could have been so important and could have been opportunities to succeed. So listening is not easy. There are lots and lots of skills and training on communication, and there's not as much on listening as I would like to see. It's growing, and people just like, well, yeah, I'm a good listener. Are you though? Are you though? And are you a good listener in your eyes, or are you a good listener in the eyes of those who need you to listen to them? So then the third one, humility alongside confidence, is the first. Listen is the second. And the third, just 3 tips to help us have better work days. These are proven, and they work at any level of the organization. The third one is to put people first. Put people first. In our key differentiator, when I talk about it, I'll use words like I love out loud. And we as an organization, we love out loud. I'm not afraid of that word love. I love my customers, and I love my employees, and I love the opportunity to serve them. But you got to put people first. I'm a professional project manager, and I've been trying since 1996 to get projects to do themselves. My friends, projects do not do themselves, right? It takes people to do projects. You got to love them. Whether they're making it a great day or a tougher day, you love them. And that helps you get through it. Customers without fail, customers are not businesses. Customers are people. Customers are people, and that's how we run our sales and our marketing team too. We love our customers. We need them more than they need us. And so we got to love on them and make sure that they feel loved. And employees, man, our employees are not, they're not numbers, they're not names, they're not entities, they're not resources, they're people. They're people, and they have a name and a personality and an identity, and they desire to build a relationship with us. And if we start there, if we love them first, they will shine for us. You know, you've heard the quotes. It comes in so many different directions, right? People who are appreciated will do more than expected. You've heard the quote, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. You've heard people will never remember what you said, but they'll never forget how you made them feel. Right? What do all of those quotes have in common? You've heard them over and over and over. And what they have in common is it's putting people first. It's putting the other person in this conversation ahead of me, ahead of anything else that's going on. We do that through the languages of appreciation, through servant leadership. There are all kinds of skills that we can teach you on that. But even if that person in front of you irritates you, which admittedly does happen, right? That person has just done a behavior that is irritating. One of the techniques that we teach there is what we call unconditional positive regard. That theory, unconditional positive regard, just like it sounds, is unconditional, means no matter what, without condition. Positive meaning in a favorable way, in an uplifting way, and regard from the Latin root or the French regarder, to look upon. It's no matter what, I look at you in a favorable light. And so even if the person in front of you, this is how you make a better workday, have one of those instances where maybe someone has done something that's irritating. They did the thing they weren't supposed to do, or they didn't do the thing they were supposed to do. And before you speak, before you interact with them, you look at them and you look at them with unconditional positive regard, no matter what. I value you, and you are a human, and you have value, and you have worth. And that's what governs my words. That's what governs my actions. That's what governs my facials, is that I value you as a person. So put the person first, and they will allow you to connect with them. They'll allow you to coach them. They'll allow you to help move forward. So that's it. 3 fail-safe ways that I offer to help improve productivity and workdays for yourself and for others. Balance that humility alongside confidence. Listen. And put people first.
Oh, Sinikka, you make my heart so warm. And I love that I just said love, right? And Allison said she made a comment around that she avoided using love for 2 decades. But it's so true. If we, love in the workplace doesn't have to be love, right? But you love what you do. You love the people you work with. And just the 3 tips were great, right? Humility with confidence. That's amazing and so relevant. Listening. And you're right. Listening is hard. I think when you said listening is an art form, it surely is. Like, how are you honing that art? You don't become an amazing painter overnight. You don't become an amazing listener overnight, for sure. And putting people first. And one that you didn't say that I hear all the time is people leave people. They don't leave companies. They don't leave organizations. They leave people. So are you the person that people want to work with, stay with, follow? Or are you the person that people leave? So amazing. Damon, I'm going to throw it over to you for a second. I know we're close to time, and Sinikka, I just appreciate you being here and taking the time and making it work with all the things you have going on your plates, for sure.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. It has been an absolute joy.
Awesome. That's all I can say. First of all, Sinikka, great stuff. And you are right. The 3 things, I won't go over them again, Mel, but they're incredible, and they are truly, truly beneficial and will help people have better work days. Mel, thanks so much for being a guest host, having Sinikka come here today and speak. Thanks to both of you. It was so great, and I just appreciate it from my heart. Everyone that showed up today, your question was awesome, Mel. It got some things out from people that we hadn't heard before, and it really helps us to build relationships and get to know people better. That's part of what we like to do in this, is really get to know people, build those relationships, and learn something. And that's really what we try to do every day, every time we have this event. So thank you both so much for being here.
Yeah, thank you.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, thank you for having us. It was a pleasure. I've been looking forward to this for like a month and a half.
Yeah, so much.
Thank you.
So much. Well, we're, as Andrew would say, we're hitting 9 o'clock. We got to shut down, but I'm going to take us off of live on LinkedIn here shortly. But I just want to announce a couple changes that we're going to be doing to the weekly event. And it's not going to start until June, but you'll notice in June and July, we're going to make some changes that I think will benefit the group and benefit more people as we change some of the focus and the ways that we do things. But we're going to create a small panel of people that are going to help with the direction of the group. I'm just excited that we've been able to, and really grateful. I'm not excited, but I'm grateful. I'm always excited, but I'm grateful that we've been able to do this over a year now. And hit pretty much every week, and we get a lot of good speakers and a lot of attendees. But what we want to do is, and we want to take it and keep it relevant and keep it interesting and keep it helping more and more people and helping us grow and everything we do. So this panel is going to help us branch out with some more speakers, some different kinds of speakers, and it's also going to help us. And we're going to bring some speakers that may have different audiences that will help us grow as that as well. And I'm really excited about this in the new direction, not new direction, but just an evolution. We have to evolve. We don't want to say things. And if anybody that knows me knows something, is I'm probably going to change what I'm doing tomorrow because I'm tired of it today. And I think there's a better way, and that's what we're going to do. So looking forward to that, looking forward to your feedback. So thanks so much, everyone, for being here. We're going to go back to the tables on Remo. We're going to drop off on LinkedIn Live now. Thanks so much for listening there. All your comments on LinkedIn Live, they're going off. We're going back to the tables here. We'll leave the event open so you can network a bit if you want. Love it. Thanks so much, everyone.